Ahoy hoy, and welcome to Players and Book,
Whoa.
a live D&D game where I get to DM for the best players in the world, including Katie Downey, Lauren Urban, and Latia Jaquise.
And our darling Jennifer cannot be here tonight,
Yeah.
unfortunately, for she is doing cool things, and it's happy. Okay, credits, right, Sim?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and go through the credits real quick, and then I'll throw it to you. Cartography by Shay and Peku. Cartography by Shay and Peku Sci-Fi. Maps by Luke Stratton. Maps by Eightfold Paper. Music by Tabletop Audio. Character tokens by Greek46.
Oh,
Custom tokens by Shay and Peku Token. What?
I'm you.
Oh
You're
gosh, it switched
Fairless,
around. I forgot.
and
I got
Lauren is me.
I got
Audio is probably
dropped.
still good, so I'll finish the
Yeah.
overlay art by Pax Stream, custom world map by Frecklesketches, and logo by Luke McCay. Yeah. Oh, and special thank you to our moderators, Billith and Strike Red Kite.
Okay, now we're all in the right spot. And I'm gonna lock
Yay.
it so I don't mess it up.
Now, Katie, once
Yes.
you're done locking it so you don't mess up,
I have locked all the things.
introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Katie Downey, aka Goblin Katie. You can find me on all the socials at Goblin Katie. It's a one-stop shop. Or goblinkatie.com on Bisky. Let's see. We want to give a special shout out to the wonderful Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. It is a super fun idle play game. You can play it on your phone, your PC, all sorts of stuff. And they are kind enough to give us a code, which we are able to pass on to you each week. And this code unlocks an Electrum chest. So it's fabulous. You'll love it. You need it. It's great. The code for this week, if you look, wait.
I'm
Nope.
told that the code
The
on the
code
screen
does
is-
not match. Use the one that comes up in chat. That's what I forgot
We
to
got
do.
two, so is it possible you used?
Nah.
Okay.
It has to be updated on a Word
Gotcha,
doc
gotcha.
on my computer. It's about to be correct.
Understand.
Yeah. Oh no, we vanished.
Yeah, we're gonna do that for a second.
We can't be here while the code is
No.
being updated, so
No.
you're just gonna have to. Oh, the captions are also not there.
Mhm. Yeah, that's because when I got bumped.
While you're
Okay,
working on that,
now
no,
everything's
I was
okay.
gonna say, while you're
What's
working
the
on
code?
that, I will read the code.
Oh,
It
yeah.
is ahead mold veil.
I like how the code always seems to end with a question, no matter
Yeah.
how authoritative it seems to be.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
it's a veil of mold, which is a whole other problem that we need to.
That
be
was
talking
how I
about.
was seeing it. Yeah.
Listen, I live in the Pacific Northwest, and that is a constant worry of mine is mold. So,
Like a curtain you have to go through of just mold.
Mold veil.
Captions
Swarm
are
King
also not updating.
Yes.
They are still talking about. I am tired. I will freely admit that, but they're still showing
Yeah, it-
everybody how tired I am.
Popped back in. There we go. Now it's up. Okay, and let me.
How dare you, captions?
Captions. How dare you reveal my tiredness to everyone?
Okay.
I believe if
Yay.
Katie's done, then Lauren, you'd be introducing yourself next.
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay.
Oh,
All
one more
right.
thing. Come see me the weekend of July or June 20th, wrong month, June 20th at Southern Pride Gaming Expo. I'll be performing / playing.
Nice.
And that's it. Okay.
Oh, hi, I'm Lauren Urban. You can find all the stuff I'm doing at my website, lauren-urban.com, or go to my Blue Sky, which is also lauren-urban.com, because sometimes things work out that way. Tonight, I'm playing Fairlos Lout, your, as some folks like to say, your friendly neighborhood, sometimes friendly, Tabaxi Storm Cleric, who's probably actually pretty friendly right now, thanks to Essequa saving her feet from hours and hours of not getting filled with tar. I will say, I'll say this at the beginning, actually, because I don't normally plug too much, but I am at Origins Game Fair this week, which is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday in Ohio somewhere. So if you
Columbus,
happen to be
I
going,
think.
yes, I think so. I always seem to say the wrong C because I was I lived there for a couple of years, and so the wrong city comes out of my mouth on a regular basis. But if you're going to Origins Game Fair, you probably know where it is. I'm going to be there. You can find me doing WizKids stuff because that's what I do for my day job is WizKids stuff. So come and say hi. If I'm at one of the 3 different places that has WizKids stuff, you will be able to see me.
WizKid
And
stuff
that's all.
is super cool.
I tend to think so.
My turn. Hello, everyone. I'm Latia Jaquise, and I cut my hair. Look it's all short now. Whoa. But
Wow.
I'm playing Essequa, everyone's favorite blade singing dragonborn wizard.
Oh yeah.
But when I'm not Essequa, you can find me at my website, which is latiajaquise.com, which is also where I am on Blue Sky. And if you're not doing one of the other 2 things going on among the cast, and you happen to be in the Midwest, come to Racine, Wisconsin, because it's free RPG day, and I will be doing some panels, and I will also be running the first couple chapters of Call of the Netherdeep, time permitting, because I wrote that part.
Nice.
So it's gonna be fun.
Racine is an awesome town. There's an
Yeah.
Irish pub there that is amazing.
Yeah, I'm playing. This is all happening at the Sanctum Gaming Emporium. It's a really
Okay.
cool looking store.
Yeah.
I've never been, but they were kind enough to ask me to come out and do some stuff for free RPG day, and I oh, hi Dio.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's happening.
Yeah.
Also, that is an amazing title for a gaming store. Like,
Yeah.
kudos to that store.
Love it.
Yeah.
I am
Hi.
Jeremiah Sumerian, and I have nothing.
Whoa.
But
This going on, and you are awesome, and that is all that matters.
this is episode 30 of Player and Book's first campaign, The Secondhand Souls. Previously on Players and Book, Still Alive. This was a triumph. I'm making a note here, huge success. It's hard to overstate my satisfaction. I know you probably want to sing the rest of it, but we got to move on.
Sure do.
It's going to be in my head now for the rest of the day.
Still Alive, Jonathan Colton. The poet talks to her sister about Sargaroth and doesn't come away with a lot of information as to how he could still be alive and also dead at the same time. The conversation turns to regrets and mistakes, and the 2 part on fairly bad terms. On the way back, the poet, acolyte, and scholar encounter Sarah, the sea dragon, and discuss with Pascal the defense of the island. There's still some uncertainty as to if the lessons learned will participate actively in the defense of the island, but it's not off the table. Soren, the scholar's old mentor, sends a message to let her know that he is currently at the theater department in Brescia University, and then warns the scholar to stay away from Brescia, as the student protests are starting to get a little out of hand and a little dangerous. The scholar pointedly says she is probably coming anyway and may in fact help cause some more trouble. Back to the ship, the crew discuss their plans once they enter Brescia and likely start those plans likely start with Johnny Jubilee's contact inside the theater department, a Dr. Sawyer. After much more discussion, the crew decide to revisit the tar pits and see if they could determine an answer to the mystery behind Sargaroth's death and apparent resurrection. There they find a ledger detailing the gathering of souls as some form of currency, and a final entry in that ledger indicating the souls have been used to pay off a debt incurred to turn the dragon into a lich. It is 3:41 p.m. on Wrath's Day, the 26th of Dreams. The sun is up and will be for quite some time yet. And it is still the Day of Nightmares, so restful sleep should not be expected tonight.
I forgot for a second that we were also called the Souls, and that soul. Well, I didn't forget that we were called the Souls, but I forgot that souls are like actual tangible things.
Like a thing, yeah.
And I was like, yeah, why did we weren't when did we pay for stuff?
We're not on the hook for anything.
Exactly.
I think at the moment we are all crouched over this book, this ledger, looking at that last line. Well, we could have saved ourselves a lot of trouble if we had just read that first.
Could we?
I mean, doesn't that explain it?
Yes.
It does. But I don't think that we've. I mean, have they really dug into him that much that it would have been useful to us previously?
I don't know how previously, but at least in the question of whether this is Sagaroth or what's going on, the fact that he is a lich.
I bet his little thingies are his phylactery.
Oh, okay.
No, the glasses.
Ignore me. Ignore me.
Is that even possible? Can you
I don't think so.
Okay. Now, I don't know enough about liches to know.
I mean,
Yes.
it's a
Well-
container.
I mm, hmm.
I
Moving on.
regret.
I'm just very curious now. I'm gonna have to do a little more research into liches because apparently that's what we're gonna deal with, and I need to get back to that island at some point and get my book. So, but that is for another time.
Probably a good idea.
I will float you out of the. I know well, you're out of it now, but my disc is still around.
Your disc was very appreciated. Thank you so much.
Yes, I did actually forget that you have fur and that would be a worse problem than armor. But I'm glad I thought of the disc anyway.
It's much appreciated. I don't expect anyone else to remember the problems that come with fur. That's my job. But you know what? Fur or no, even if all you were thinking about was my armor, it's still very appreciated. I cannot even begin to imagine trying to get tar off of scales or.
I mean, I wouldn't know. We're very slick people, the Tritons.
Yeah, and then my scales will probably just come off with the tar.
Mm.
And like, yeah, do I
Do you
shed every
shed?
so often. Yeah, I do. I do shed, yes. But an unscheduled shedding is not one that I want to experience.
No.
It seems like it would be rather painful.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Although
Alright,
now
we
I
all-
am just thinking about, like, Latia is thinking about the concept of dragonborn shedding, and I love this little bit of lore that I've added to myself.
Does that mean
Well-
I could have a humane dragonborn purse?
I mean, I did when I sent my character description to Luke, I was like, her armor is studded because she takes her own scales and attaches them to the armor.
Oh my
So,
god, I love that.
I
That's
mean,
amazing.
the reason Seisha has a scale from Orkira is because it was gonna come off in a shed because it was broken. So yeah.
Mm.
Anyway. Well, I shed when I need to. I'm glad I didn't have to pull any of it out though. Anyway, is there anything else we need to do here, or should we head back to the ship and get ready for the evening?
I don't
Like-
think I think we're good here.
I think I want to go hit the bar.
Before
Well, the bar's not here.
It's
Right.
going to
True.
be a long night.
I mean, hopefully not.
You know what day it is?
I'm very well aware.
Right. And do you remember when we met what was his name? The other dreamer?
Oh,
Yeah, when
Yeah.
we were in my book, yeah.
hmm
I think we can expect some attention.
I hope not.
I hope not either, but on the off chance, I think that a drunken sleep might be better.
I don't know if I agree with you, but I honestly have no idea if it's better or worse. So I have no facts to base that on. So
I can tell you on nights where I really get into my cups, I don't dream.
Oh,
So that's the hope.
got it.
I
Well,
think I'd rather face this nightmare and be able to face tomorrow without having to deal with the hangover. But you do you.
You do you, and we'll look after you like we always do.
I'm not a
Rhymes.
toddler. Well, no, I kind of am. All right, well then.
We're not looking after you as though you were a toddler. We're looking after you as though you are our friend.
Insight check
On who?
on Tallulah.
Turns out,
I
not
want it.
friends.
Okay, wait a minute, because my dice still aren't working. So hold
Okay,
up.
I gotta pull up my character sheet anyway, so you got a second.
How do we wait? How do we play D&D?
How does D&D work again?
Right?
Oh crap, there are rules.
It's a 9.
Okay, well, I can't roll under. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you this because it was so like caught her so off guard. She was genuinely shocked that Furlos indicated friendship because of the way that everything has gone down. You can tell that there's a little bit of shock, and then I guess the humility. It was humbling. So shock and then kind of a humbled sort of feeling off it.
Cool.
Well, did you have an idea of which bar you're going to? Well, I don't plan on getting drunk. I could use a little bit of food and drink before bed.
I'm sure we can find some place. And I'll head up towards the area where people are gathered and stuff.
Fair. I probably should have put together a bar for you guys.
Well, I sprung it on
Always,
ya.
whenever Tallulah's involved, always assume we might need a bar.
To the bar!
That's
Diddly-diddly-doo.
perfectly fair.
Diddly-dee.
The funny thing being, like, this is a city under siege, and so probably the bar would be very popular because, like,
Yeah,
there's gonna be a lot of things shut down, but
the water's going to be turning. Oh, well, we have purified food and drink, though, so in that world, so yeah. You don't have to worry about bacteria from drinking water.
but yeah, like, of all of the things that would go away, I think
I mean,
Going
look
to a
at when
tavern.
we had close down. Alcohol sales went through the roof.
but
Fair.
also like just the gathering of people,
Yeah.
like, you know, the cliche of you meet in a tavern is a cliche because it's kind of true.
Yeah.
Right?
Camaraderie, man. It's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
There's a
So-
battle happening tomorrow, so yeah, I mean, people are gonna want to relax today.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I want to look for like a dive.
There are a couple of bars that are sort of open today. When
Yeah.
I say sort of open, like there's like one person behind the bar because it's still 3:00 in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
And there are
Oh, it's
people
that
kind of-
early in the day.
Yeah, we're coming up on 4 now, but
Well, then that's just day drinking. It's too soon.
that's still about 4:00. If you wanted to go day drink, that's absolutely
Even
fine.
Tallulah
Hey,
has standards.
You have to get started somewhere.
Oh shit. Oh, I know what we should probably do. We should probably go get a new set of attire for everyone so that we have a change of clothes in case we need to have a lower profile and draw attention to ourselves. In Brescia?
Oh, okay. What do you wear in Brescia?
Same clothes as a lot of people. They tend to be, depending on your social standing, they can be very formal and drapey. The people who are in the majority of the people there tend to wear more modest and fitting attire because you don't want to be caught up in things while you're constantly working.
So, two questions. One, once the actual rebellion starts, I don't know how much that's going to be necessary. Two, I think it's a good idea to have. What would you suggest as something I could wear over this? And she'll
Over
point to
that?
her armor and go, because I'm not taking this off.
Oh yeah.
I want to, could she, like a big wool cloak, would that be enough to conceal it?
You
Yeah,
trying to?
like a wrap or like
Yeah, like
like
monk
like
robes or something like that.
I was actually thinking like Jedi robes, but like they're basically the same thing. You know how
Yeah.
Jedi do that swaddle thing and where it's not like a full-on
Absolutely.
hood and thing,
Yeah.
but like they wrap
Mhm.
around.
I'm
and-
thinking of like old Republic Jedi who
Yeah.
who would wear armor underneath their robes,
Yeah.
but anyway, it's pretty obvious that they're wearing armor underneath their robes usually.
Uh-huh.
Um,
I'm more intending for like, basically if we get spotted doing something, we can hit an alley and throw something on real quick just to kind of make it more difficult to pick us out of the crowd.
I'd
Mm-hmm.
like to offer you guys some information if you guys can roll well enough for it.
Okay.
I like
I would like-
information.
I'd like everyone here to make an investigation check. Essequa with advantage.
Oh. And
And
you
you'll
said
know why
investigation?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I got the hangnail.
I get a 15, which is pretty darn good for me.
Okay, I have to do this twice. I got a 19.
19. And what was
I got a 1.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I rolled a natural 1.
So you really did
Essequa.
get a hangnail.
I did.
Mhm.
I got a hangnail.
So, Essequa, two things. You are the captain, and this is going to seem like it's coming out of nowhere. You're the captain of the Avalon Aurora Ball team.
Oh yeah, that's me. I forgot about that.
Avalon and Brescia University are scheduled for a match sometime this year. If you're looking to come up with a cover,
Scouting.
Y'all can't hear the squeaking, can you?
No.
no.
Scouting? Isn't
Yeah,
that what we're doing?
Yeah, no. Like the whole not sneaky scouting, sports scouting.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
where so I have to decide if I'm gonna actually play that match. No, Aurora Ball. I do that. Remember?
Yeah.
We're supposed to have a match with Brescia this year. It's not now, but I could be here because of it, checking out the field and whatnot. And you could
Seems-
just be with me.
Would is this something that you would have had to schedule?
Probably, but I'm a very impulsive person and I could just say that I forgot.
I can forge you documents.
Yeah. No. Sam, are you implying that I could send a message?
I don't know what, I'm not implying anything.
You're making phone gestures.
Call
I
a
have a
friend,
whole-
call a what
right?
was it?
Yeah, I could send a message to who's the cat who's Aurora, who's the Aurora Ball coach?
Give me one moment to load up. It's a name. Hold on.
Hope it'd be a name.
The name and names. Hold on. It's nope, not these guys. Where's the thing?
There
Move
is no
over.
thing, only Zool.
Okay, this is the.
That's their name,
Divine
Zool.
Recognition.
No, I'm sure they have a
Jedi
real name.
Poncho.
There we go. Okay. Practical sciences. Ah, yes, Coach Marcus Ironsides.
Yeah, cool. Right. He's another hot one. I can't say that. He's my teacher.
He can objectively be an attractive person and be your teacher.
It's true. It's very true. Yeah, I can send a message to Coach Ironsides and see if he can get me some quick approval to like look at the field or whatever, or at least to be like, hey, uh the coach captain is coming to make sure everything is good. If we're still on track, like with everything going on in Brescia, maybe we postpone this match. Maybe we wait until after there isn't the looming threat of war on the horizon to have an Aurora Ball match. You know?
All right, let me ask you this next part.
I
If we
am waiting.
fail,
Uh-huh.
is he prepared to deal with the consequences of potentially being found to be involved?
What do you mean?
Well, if he is discovered to have been involved in us getting into the city to try to overthrow the queen, Russia might have something to say about that.
Mm.
Much as we wanted to make sure the crew was aware of what could happen,
Right.
It's a good point.
it's just something to make sure he's aware of.
Well, I think it's still a good idea. Maybe this is the kind of thing in where we don't need to tell him, because at the point in where anyone is looking into whether we are legitimately here or not, we
Yeah.
probably are no longer, our cover is blown at that point and we are doing something
Also,
else.
I am the captain of the Aurora Ball team. I have the authorization to do that kind of stuff, and if I don't, I will certainly have it post event.
All right.
I think that's enough. We're just looking for some base level reason to be wearing something over our current armor and weapons.
Well, I think
Anything.
so here's the thing. If they know that we're a part, if they know that we go to Avalon, they know that kids from Avalon will sometimes go on adventures to get class credit. And that's
Mm-hmm.
what we're doing. However, I am still captain of the Aurora Ball team, and we are still scheduled to have a match this year. So given that, while I'm on my adventures,
That's what
happen
I
to
was
be
thinking, yes.
yeah, while we're on our adventures, happening to be in this area, it might be a good idea to see what the situation is like to be able to tell Coach Ironsides, hey, maybe we shouldn't have a match this pretty soon because of XYZ ABC. So yeah.
Mm. All right. Um, while we are in town, I want to buy a makeup kit for disguises.
All right. That's going to be very easy to get a hold of. Probably just price it like a disguise kit. I
Okay.
think. I don't think makeup kit's actually in the DMG.
I don't think it is. I couldn't remember disguise kit, so I just
Yeah.
improv.
We'll just. Oh no, that's perfectly fine. Yeah. I'm just trying to look up the price real quick. I know it's
Mhm.
extremely small, but for the details. Oh, come
Details.
load already. All right. 25 gold pieces. That's for a disguise kit fully. So
Okay.
if you
We
wanted.
have that.
I got it.
All
Yeah.
right.
25, you said?
Absolutely.
Got it. Okay.
And I'll keep an eye out for some basic fabric that I can turn
Yeah.
into
And you want to
cloak
get a
wrap
cloak.
that's
Yeah.
that's in the Aurora Ball colors.
Okay. So you want to get something in the Avalon's team colors sort of deal?
Yeah, so that I can go along with the
Perfect.
with Essequa's. We're here just Aurora balling.
I'm
That's
not sure
term.
if I've
Sure, that's what I
established.
said.
I'm not sure if I established the school colors before, but we're gonna call them blue and purple.
There we go.
Nice.
So yeah, something so really simple kind of drapery, something I could wrap around, cover the armor and hood, just to get the basics of if you're
Gotcha.
scanning the crowd. Like, she's a 7 foot tall tabaxi, so there's only so
Yeah.
much she knows she can
Yeah.
do. But at the very least, it's not, she's not going to stand out immediately. And
Perfect.
if anybody comes up to talk and Essequa's talking about the Avalon Aurora Ball team, I will be in the team colors and can
Perfect.
help. So
It's also totally like as an adventuring crew, it's not uncommon for the rest of you to have nothing to do with Aurora Ball, but like while we're just out and I happen to be on the team and checking things out. It's just like, oh no, this is my adventuring party. They are not on the team, but because we adventure together, they're with me while I'm doing this. So you don't even have to pretend to know anything about Aurora Ball.
Contextually, just to be clear, the town, I mean, Brescia is not closed down.
Yeah.
Right.
Like you guys just need some. I understand where you're coming from. You want to have some sort of like answer to why are you here.
Mm-hmm.
Just something vague is good enough because, like I said, it's not like they've closed it down to new people coming in.
Right.
All right,
Not,
so
not yet, anyway.
Yeah, I'm thinking more like in
give
a
it
day
24
or-
hours.
Yeah, yeah, in a day or two, suddenly, yeah, there are gonna be reasons.
Um, that'll take you guys maybe 1-2 hours, just kind of wandering the town, trying to find stuff. So that brings us up to about 6:30 at night, or not night, in the evening.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So what are we going to do with calling in the favor? Do we want to wait until tomorrow or do we want to do it tonight? I don't
We're
know
doing
which
it
would be better.
tomorrow. So
right.
Johnny Jubilee is gonna meet us in the morning, and once he's aboard, we call in the
The favor.
first favor
Mm.
with, or
We call
Johnny
her.
Jubilee-
We call her
Yeah,
and let her know.
she's-
She arrives,
she's-
then we call him.
yeah. Johnny Jubilee needs to be aboard. Captain with no name needs to be aboard.
Mm.
We call in the favor.
Mm-hmm.
We deal with the Fae, whatever's going to happen between the two married couple, and then the second favor, which is getting our boat being able to go underwater, and then we go.
Excellent.
Also, Johnny is currently on your ship already. He's
Yes,
staying
he
there.
is.
Oh, is he
Oh,
going to
that's
stay?
right. Yeah.
Is he
I didn't
staying
realize he
over
was
in-
staying here. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't realize he was staying overnight either. Okay,
It's sort of a
perfect.
just in case. He doesn't know, kind of. He
Sure.
doesn't want to necessarily know what all your
If
plans
we
are.
have to book it.
Perfect. So yeah, basically, as soon as the captain with no name arrives, which could be basically any time tomorrow, so we should definitely make sure that we are back in a reasonable hour tonight.
All right. Oh.
Dungeon Master, since
Yes.
we are beyond the additional creature that we have met who might decide to infiltrate and do other things, as far as just the basics of this being the day of nightmares and getting a restful sleep, what do we know about this? What's like the general
Vibe.
thing we're supposed to do in order to deal with it?
So it is it's one of the few holidays to the god in the dream. She has a couple of holy days throughout the year. This one is devoted to, of course, bad dreams. The idea is that on this day you get all your bad dreams out. Now, how likely that actually is whatever, but that's the tradition, as it were.
Mhm.
So you think about your fears, you think about the things that have been making you feel guilty all year, and you're supposed to really focus on them and get it all out in one bad nightmare, and then it's over.
Okay.
I wish.
Now,
That
now
would be amazing.
to be clear, not many people actually bother with that, and a lot of this day is for a lot of people just a good excuse to get really drunk, blackout drunk.
Like Tallulah is about to do. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And is there any control over it? Like if you actually sit and concentrate on, all right, here are all the things that I'm guilty for, here are all the things that I'm scared of. Is it a worse nightmare, or if you just kind of go about your day, is it just kind of a garden variety?
So there's
I'm falling.
Yeah, there's two ways to look at it. And the first question I'm going to ask is previous days of the nightmare. What do you think Furlos has tried to do? Has she ever actually sat down and tried to pray on it?
Pray no.
Think on it?
I think she's probably thought on it briefly.
Then you would have experienced on those occasions more intense nightmares than normal on
Okay.
that night of sleep. Less nightmares for the rest of the year.
Okay, that
Ooh.
okay. So empirically, yes, that okay. Interesting.
How does it work if your life is a living nightmare?
Jesus.
Well, then you need therapy, and a nightmare is not therapy. Then the god in the dream comes to you in your dreams and says, "You need therapy," and that's your nightmare.
Just like that.
Yes, says, "I cannot handle this in 1 8-hour go. Here is a card for a therapist."
We're gonna need to start out a couple days a week.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Trying now, I'm thinking about like a punch card for therapy, like
Ooh, like the
thir-
subway cards they
yeah,
used to
like
give you,
eighth visit for free. Yeah,
and get a free sub. Yeah, yeah. Aw.
If your nightmare is going to be that bad, you wake up and there's just the card next to your
yeah,
bed. You
with
don't know how
with
it got
single
there.
punch hole in it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just thinking if your nightmare is that bad that you're excited about a Subway sandwich.
Now,
Okay.
I will say, intensity or even presence of those nightmares in your empirical study of this occasion and thing really does depend on how you feel. It's not like if you have guilt, if you have fear or unrealized and sort of you're hiding away from, then your nightmares will be much more intense. You might not have nightmares at all, even when you're thinking about those sorts of things. If you are, let's say, free of those kinds of fears or free of guilt.
Mm.
Mm.
I don't think Essequiz thought about it that hard.
Mm.
Like she has like there have probably been anxieties in previous days of the nightmare that result in like the kind of dreams that you have when you eat too much cheese. Um Whatever those are.
There is not such a thing as too much cheese, but you
There
know,
isn't. There isn't. However,
yeah.
when you've been exposed to something, to a lot of something, it will show up in your dreams.
Yeah.
And that is the equivalent of that.
Eh.
I
So she,
think
you know what? I think she probably thinks about something that has been super plaguing her. She has a really intense dream about it, and then she feels like nothing can be worse than that intense dream.
Mm.
I feel like Fairlowes takes advantage of the event to not as self-reflection, but like, all right, this is going to happen anyway, so I might as well sit and think about what are the things that I might be afraid of, what are the things I might be guilty about. And so she takes that time, and it's not like deep self-reflection, it's very honest, like, what am I really afraid of right now? What are there things in my life that I feel guilty about right now that I would like to address? And like uses it as a benchmark to like keep herself grounded.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think every year it's slightly different because she's trying to be good about keeping on top of things. So yeah, I think she does just before bed sit and really ponder, but doesn't like think about her whole life or like even the last year. It's like, what right now is plaguing, like if she was literally having the therapy session with her therapist,
Yeah.
what, and the therapist says, so what's bothering you? She would try to answer that as accurately as possible for right now, and then be like, all right, that's, I'm going to get that out now, and
Mhm.
we'll go forward.
Mm-hmm. Tallulah gets drunk.
That's
Mm.
fair. Do you guys? So
Yeah.
I have a question. Do you guys maybe go back to the ship for a little bit to wait for it to get later, or do you want to?
I feel like we probably would have gone to the ship because we knew that
It's fair.
Kara was going to be making dinner.
Mhm.
Yes, he
Yeah.
is.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so I feel like we probably would go to the ship, have dinner, and then Tallulah would want to go hit the bar with anybody who wanted to come.
Oh,
And yeah,
I know a good place to go. We can go after this.
outstanding. I
That's
love
fair.
this plan. I'm excited to be a part of it.
It's fair. Are you? Have you been to the island? I mean, it seems like you know this place pretty well. I've got a recommendation from Pascal.
I'll
Do you
take
know
the recommendation.
It's
He knows
called
the place better than I do. I
That's fair.
haven't been
Oh,
here.
you don't know it? Then I was going to say the name, but you ain't going to recognize it. So, all right.
Well, I still want to know the name.
I do.
The squared circle.
The square circle.
Yeah, it's supposed to be some sort of like a bar and grill, but I'm told that they have some very good drinks.
I'm excited. Let's try it.
I'll ask Kara, even though I know Kara is not usually someone who wants to go out and do things. I'll ask Kara, are you interested in going out?
I'm good. I'm gonna stick around here, I think, and just sort of,
You want us to bring anything back for you?
what do they have?
What do you drink?
Oh, no, not alcohol.
Food?
I don't. Yeah, if they've got some, I always like to try new things in new places.
I'll buy you something exciting.
I'll
Okay.
send you the menu.
Oh, that's not nearly as exciting.
Okay, you can get something for him, but I will also send him the menu.
That's
There
probably
you
a
go.
good idea.
And
And
it's not as fun when you don't like the thing that you've been given. I
It's
like
fine.
surprises, but it's
Wait,
not
do you have
as
any allergies?
Yeah.
Not that I know of.
Okay, it's an adventure. We'll find out.
Just to be clear, that what you guys had was what he made for you. A lot of what he makes is going to include rice because that's
Yeah.
what he has in his pocket dimension. This is just a garlic butter shrimp rice.
Mm.
With
Ooh.
some it's not like once he learns that you guys are going to a bar and grill, he kind of like he's in the middle of cooking. He still has a bunch of it, but he instead puts smaller portions on everyone's plates.
Mm-hmm. I need to eat really well before we sit down to play this game because every time you describe the food, I'm just like, I want that.
absolutely.
Let's go ahead and move you guys to the squared circle,
Circle gets the square.
Let's see.
which I threw together just whilst everyone was conversing.
Pick CC and we should be good.
Ooh.
Whoa. Zoom out, zoom out.
That's very fancy.
So fancy.
Yeah, very fancy. For my benefit, about how far of a walk is it from our boat?
I'd say it's about, let's call it 10 minutes.
Okay, not too far then. 'Cause Fairless is long, especially since she's not planning on getting intoxicated in any way. So she wants to make sure it is a short enough walk for those who do plan on having a lot to imbibe that they can still probably make it back to the ship. So 10 minutes, I think even Tallulah could manage to get back without too much problem. But yeah, she'll let everybody know after we've ordered and had something to eat. When Kara's stuff comes, I'll go ahead and bring it back to them. Itching to turn in a little early. Tomorrow's going to be a very long day, especially starting with dealing with Faye.
This is true.
It's going to be a very long morning.
All right. Well, in the meantime, it's about to be a very fun night. And I am going to go up. How many people are in here?
I'd say it is starting to fill up because it's about like 7 or 8 o'clock. Just to be clear about the way this works, the bottom section of this map is the kitchen.
Okay.
When they cook up the meals, they put them on plates, and then the conveyor brings them around. The conveyor is
I
wind
love
powered.
it.
Did we end up at a sushi conveyor plate?
We did.
You did, but
We
it's not
totally
purely just
did.
sushi.
It's my
It is,
favorite
yeah.
kind of way to have food brought to me.
On little plates on a conveyor belt. I'm here.
Yes.
I'm here for it. Yes.
Yeah.
My favorite sushi place locally now, they've remodeled and relocated, and now they have large toy semi trucks that if you order something that's not on the conveyor belt,
Yeah.
they will the truck will come out. The truck's track sits on top of the conveyor belt, and if you order something that's not on the belt, they will bring it out to you via the truck, and it is the greatest.
Oh my god. I want
That's
to go to
amazing.
there.
I want
how
to go
many-
just to order something to come out on the truck.
Roughly how many people are in here at this point? Patrons.
I would say, let's call it currently about 30. But more are coming in every like couple minutes. You get like a new person
Mhm.
coming in.
How much does their let's say their house beverage cost?
I mean, what they have like probably, let's call it their house. They're not necessarily a house beverage, but the primary drink they sell is a dark and stormy.
Oh, I love it. Okay.
It's it's about let's call it a silver piece.
Okay. I'm going to go up to the bar and say, "Good evening, bartender. I'd like to buy a round of the dark and stormy for everyone currently here." And I will put, let's see, 10 silver to a gold. I'll put 40 gold, or not 40 gold, 4 gold on the table.
Really? Okay. Well, all right. And he like turns around and starts getting a bunch of people to work, putting together the drinks. That'll be all right. He's like very surprised by this and like, okay, this is kind of a little early in the night for someone to be this drunk, but okay. And he collects up the money, and then they start putting the drinks together, and everybody in the room gets a drink. And when someone looks confused, he points one of the waiters or waitresses will point over at you.
Mm-hmm. I'll lift my glass to them. And
Get in all the, and this is Johnny. He's gonna speak up. Getting all your all the attention on me out now before we go on our secret mission.
well, if you're going to stand next to me, you better be ready to hide. I don't think I'm going to I'm going to probably grab a little attention myself. Perhaps. Well, no, because she has not been out and about. They don't know.
Yeah, no one's going to know what you look like, I would
Oh, that's a big happy for me to realize.
say. I mean, some people might know, but the average person's probably not.
This is true. And as far as we know, the only people who are aware that I exist is our companions and Monsieur Roche.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, so like I don't think that's true.
No, it's not. And I'll give Tallulah a meaningful look and quietly so that only those of us who are here can hear. As Lauren frantically looks through notes. Last time we were on the Isle of Dreams, we
Right.
ran into a couple people.
That is Monsieur Roche.
Well, that whole crew now knows.
There were 3 of them at the time, correct?
There was more than 3, but there were 3 like named nobles as well. But Johnny's like, no, I was actually talking about the fact that well, I mean, one of the Fontaines was in the room when your father explained everything, and they're not officially part of the rebellion. He was just there to sort of, test the waters, see what was going on with the rebellion.
Oh, I love that idea. Let's bring the person who isn't officially connected into the room where everything gets decided. That's a genius move.
I think it may have been yeah, I think that might have been deliberate. I think that was a deliberate leak.
Man,
Oh,
I'm so
sneaky,
glad they chose to
sneaky.
leak my heritage when they informed me. That's real stand-up job.
Well,
You're gonna
yeah.
have to accept that I'm going to be a bit bitter for a while.
Reasonably so, I'd imagine. But let's get drunk tonight.
I love this plan. I'm excited to be a part of it. Um, let's see. After after that first round has been distributed and everything, um I want to ask the bartender if he would allow me to play some music.
Um, yeah, I mean, we don't have a stage or anything for
I
that,
don't
but
need one.
okay.
A true
Yeah, I
artist
mean,
can
that's fine.
perform anywhere.
Okay, that's fine. What are you gonna play?
Uh, just some traditional songs from Russia.
Oh, all right. Well, I have it, I guess. Just a note, if you're really bad, we will ask you to stop.
Okay. All right, let me
I
see
would
here.
I would lose respect for this place if that wasn't true.
All right, I've got a +7.
Whilst you're doing that, what's Essequa and Furlos up to?
Essequa is enthralled by the conveyor belt,
Ah.
at least for like the first 10 minutes.
It isn't purely sushi coming across it, but it is mostly a seafood.
Oh yeah. No, she's just
menu.
really interested in how, like, you know, I mean, I'm sure that there's some method to the madness of how it works, but she's just interested in like watching the food go by.
Well,
Mm.
there's that. If you look at the map, you can actually see the little sort of windmills that are powering the conveyors.
Yeah.
It's so cute. Oh my
So
god.
clever.
This reminds me of a map from Myst for some reason. Like I feel like I need to solve a puzzle to make this whole thing work. It's adorable. I love it.
But if you're just looking at the foods, all sorts of really delicious things are coming across it. Um, it looks like right now the way this is set up, you can grab something and then pay for it. Like it's not you order sort of deal. It is just
Oh,
grab it and then be like, "This is what my meal is."
yes.
All the plates have a
Uh,
color.
they all
I'll take a
colors.
yellow. The yellow is
Yeah.
this many silver. I'll take a red. The red is this many silver. That kind of thing.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then soon a small stack of plates, a small stack of small plates begins to pile up near Essequa as she begins to understand how this place works, and everything just looks so delicious.
That's fair.
I think Fairlos is she's having the one beer, the dark and stormy, but that's the only alcoholic drink she's gonna have, and is kind of doing the same thing in where she's picking and choosing from the conveyor belt and like trying a bunch of stuff. Like this is the last time we're probably going to have to really just relax for a while, so she's trying to enjoy it. And very very low key, just kind of taking in not just the vibe, but like she's not intentionally listening in on conversations. She's not like hardcore spying or anything. She's just kind of letting the crowd wash over her and keeping an ear out for any bits of conversation that might come her way. Like what are people
What's the vibe?
what are people specifically talking about? How much do people know about what might be happening tomorrow, especially here? You know, what are people what's on people's minds? Because you come to a place like this and eventually you talk about the news of the day, whether you like it or not. So
There's a lot of talk about an invisible ship that came into harbor.
how they know an invisible ship came in if it was invisible? Well,
That food was unloaded from. The dock workers that loaded and unloaded it said it wasn't invisible when they were on it, but it was invisible when they were off of it.
mm-hmm.
There is make an insight check, but this is a very low DC for you to pick this up. Let's say 7.
Well, it's a good thing it's a 9. I was about to say
Anything but a
don't.
1.
Yeah, I was about to say don't jinx me like that, but I did get a 9. So
All right. The vibe here, you get a sense of tension. You're not unfamiliar with like you're not fully unfamiliar with that feeling, that sort of tension of the night before battle that
Mm.
kind of comes up. Like you've been in school for a little while now, so it's not really been the thing, although it does share some similarities to like the day before a test, but to some degree, the day before some fights that you've had or some major expeditions you've gone on to get stuff. There's that, but being no one is saying what's going to happen tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
If they know, they're keeping it to themselves, but there's that very strong sense of like tomorrow we're going to have a big thing happen.
Are they avoiding specifics because, hey, we're trying to relax, or are they avoiding specifics because loose lips sink ships?
I'd say with a 9 insight, you're going to be hard pressed to figure out the difference between those two things.
That's fair. Okay. And yeah, I think that's all she's really doing until whatever we have ordered for Kara comes in, and she
That's
has,
fair.
and I've finished
Oh,
my
so
food.
here's a good question. What do you think that Kara might like?
That's a good question. Okay.
And this can be something you can decide as a group necessarily. It doesn't have to just be you, but
Something with spice and flavor, something complex. Ooh, or maybe he is one of those people who enjoys the simple taste of the purest ingredients without sauces or anything like that. I don't know.
I think you're right about the spices, but he also mentioned that he likes trying things from
Exotic.
wherever he is.
Mm-hmm. So I love the
So,
dish.
well, so I would recommend we ask the bartender, like, what's
Mm-hmm.
a local delicacy? What's a favorite signature dish from here?
And then maybe if we can, I'm not going to say avoid seafood, but we've been on the ocean for a while, so he might enjoy the taste of something that is not seafood.
Something that's not seafood, or rice, or shrimp, which is seafood.
It is. But
That
it's
was
good that you're being extra careful.
that was a little bit of Lauren right
Yeah.
there. A little bit of the shellfish is not seafood parts of Lauren.
Fair.
So yeah, like something on the I would probably ask the bartender, like given those parameters, something not seafood that's not heavily rice based that you would consider like a local favorite.
they have a sort of breaded chicken um, that they do have, and it comes alongside a, let's say, pineapple-based salsa.
I mean that does sound real good. So yeah, I think order one of those to go, and then when Tallulah is done performing, let Tallulah order something because Tallulah is going to order what Tallulah is going to order.
Whatever Tallulah wants.
Yeah.
Tallulah gets.
So,
Yeah.
speaking of Tallulah, I saw your roll.
Yep.
What performance are you putting on here?
I'm going to start out singing just like a traditional sort of bar song. Then I'm going to sing a song about Captain Furlos the Fair. Um, and the whole song basically talks about her beauty and her grace and her elegance in battle. And then at the very end, it twists and says, but that's not why she's fair. And goes into talking about her uh, temperament and the way she gives people a chance and judges them, and that she is sort of a somebody who's looking out for the best interest of the people, and that's why she's fair. And then I'm gonna slide into some good old-fashioned rebellion songs.
About
And I'm
halfway
actually,
through.
yes, I think I am going to sing. Well, obviously, one of the songs will be Do You Hear the People Sing? And then I'm going to have to do. I'm going to have to do. Oh, I can't remember the name. The Sisters song. Look around
Which-
Mm.
at how lucky we are to be alive right now.
Ah.
And that,
Is-
history is happening in Russia.
About
I figured-
halfway through the Furloughs song, you see Johnny elbow some random person and go, who the hell is she talking about?
This
Oh.
is how you build a legacy.
And then he like looks over, realizes he was meant that he thought that it was Furloughs. He looks over and sees Furloughs on the other side of the bar. And he's like, shit.
The entire time the song is happening, Fairless is like sitting quietly and there's no reaction. There's like no happy, no sad, no, like just very neutral the whole time. Although Essequa, you're right next to her, so you can probably tell that like the closer we get to the end of the song, and especially when the tone changes, there's a moment in where it's very clear Fairlos is expecting the punchline.
Oh.
And then when it's not a punchline, when it continues to be kind, she almost like relaxes a little bit and sighs.
Mhm.
And yeah, she'll smile a little bit, and at some point in the middle of your protest songs, when you take a break,
Mhm.
and DM, tell me if this is not, if this is too much. I can't remember what the specific name of it is, but the other day they had read part of the manifesto from the God of the
Oh,
Heart,
yeah.
the one that made Essequa very, very excited.
The hype.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm sure that was not the first time that somebody's had that kind of reaction to that manifesto. I have to imagine someone has turned that into a song.
If they
They
haven't,
have now.
I'll improv one.
I was about to say, I bet you Fairlos knows. If she doesn't know the song well, she might know the song well enough that if
There are I know there are folk songs about the establishment of the Havern Union and Argon the Ageless. Like Argon, the book, it's from the Book of Argon.
Mhm.
There are there's certainly things about Argon the Ageless in the folk like genre. I'm not 100% sure if the cadence of that particular thing would fit into music, but I'm sure someone could make it work.
Oh, somebody could make it work.
so yeah, I think
I'll roll. Oh, I'm sorry, Lauren. Go. You were singing this, I think.
well, no, I think if it's happened, I think Fairlos will like scratch down the words real quick, 'cause she knows these words. And like some really simple, like, here's what the melody is that she remembers from the folk song. And when Tallulah takes a break, we'll be like, you remember the God in the Hot bit, the manifesto that
Oh.
got read by the narrator and everything?
I absolutely do.
Yeah, I kind of figured. Are you familiar with the song that's based on that passage?
Hum some of it.
And I'm gonna roll a performance check for. Let's see.
Believe in you.
You can do it.
I can do a 7.
That's enough to.
I am a bard.
Oh, I'm gonna get. It's just gonna be weirdly. This is gonna be sort of an opposed roll. I'd
Ooh.
like you to make a perception check.
Oh, nice.
I have scratched down the melody. I think Fairlos is probably like those old school monks who can actually write down the melody but can't sing.
Boom.
Well,
25.
25 makes up for the 7. You definitely. So, yeah.
Thank the universe. So yeah,
And I will pull out the bagpipes.
Oh, yeah.
perfect. And I'll hand over the piece of paper, even though I know you don't need it, but just to give it to you and go. Essequa had a pretty good reaction to that. I think the people here might as well. It has nothing to do with actual proselytizing, anything but freedom.
It speaks to the heart. And I will perform that.
And I think if there's anybody who could perform it well, it will be you.
That's
I
fair.
can try.
I'd like you to do another performance check
Okay.
May I have assisted her by offering her
with
a song?
with advantage.
Okay.
Yeah.
A song that probably means something special, even if I suck at singing it.
All right.
I'll take
so we
it.
have
22.
22.
Do I wanna?
Do you wanna?
Do you wanna?
Do you wanna?
I'm debating if I want to use my historic or my heroic inspiration. The DM inspiration that we get at
I think a 22 is good. I mean, I think it can only get better from here.
Well, you rolled a 15, so
Mhm.
you've got to try and get better than a 15.
Yeah, I think I'll stick with it. I don't want to risk doing worse.
It wouldn't make you do worse, I would say. This is just going to give you the opportunity to re-roll and get better, but
I'm gonna save it because we're about to do some
it's
really dumb
probably a
stuff.
good idea.
Yeah.
Probably a
We're
pretty
gonna do
good
some
idea.
dumb stuff. I'm gonna save it.
Also, 22 is pretty darn good.
It
Like
is.
you're even for bagpipes, you're rocking. So
Yay! All right, we'll stick with it.
So it's a good message, but it's sort of a bad audience for it.
Mhm.
These people around here are definitely rebelling against the crown, but they're
Mhm.
not doing it for democracy. They're doing it for their own liege lord, for lack of a better way to put it. Like, it's noble house versus noble house.
Yeah.
However, your performance check of 22 is enough to definitely rouse people. Like I said, under normal circumstances,
Yeah.
wouldn't be very easy to get these people on board with this whole, yeah, oppressors are always bad. Like, and then they're like, you know what? No. That oppressor's bad. Our oppressor's fine.
Focus your rage.
focus on the freedom. Focus
You
on
know
the
what?
freedom.
They're a little confused, but they got the spirit.
they got the message.
Sometimes it's baby steps towards freedom, and so that's the baby steps.
However, you do notice, let's actually give you everybody in the room an insight check.
It's 3.
21.
18.
18, and a 7.
I am too interested in these tiny plates, and then the song happens, and I'm doing that thing that Latia does when she's hearing a really good song and she's got really good food and she's just in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a 7.
Furlos.
That's what a 7 means.
Yeah.
Furlos. You know that there are several young people at a table that are really into this. Way more than the rest of the audience and crowd.
Okay.
That's it.
Perfect.
Is it and they're very clearly Bresians?
They seem like they're probably, Bretians.
Okay. Okay. So
It's
probably just
a couple of sea elves, a sea tiefling, and somebody with blue
Tiefling?
skin that's a little hard to necessarily pin down what they are.
okay. And by they're probably Bresians, I probably should have said they're not obviously
Hivernian?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not a fellow tabaxi, someone who's probably not. Okay, so probably just I've helped inspire some young folks. Okay, cool.
Okay.
What does Johnny? What's Johnny's reaction to this?
Johnny is okay, so here's the thing. Johnny is nearly passed out drunk on the corner.
Yeah, he is.
Damn, he's fast.
But the well, he was actually drinking well before he got to the first dinner on the ship, but that's neither here nor there.
Okay, okay. Pre-gaming the pregame. Okay.
He's got some nightmares of his own that he wants to avoid tonight. But he is roused from his slumber to the tune that is composed, and he's like really into it until he passes back out again.
That's fair.
I love it.
And suddenly you realize if you can't rouse him, someone's might have to carry him back to the ship.
Yeah.
Well, that's what the disc is for.
And if not
Honestly,
the disc,
that's why that's probably one of the reasons why Essequa always prepares it, because more than once we've had to deliver to Lula from
Yeah.
one place to another.
Yep. That's on brand.
Speaking of Tallulah, how bad is it going to get for you tonight?
I am hydrating
Okay.
to help stave off the inevitable.
Inevitable
Yeah.
hangover in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
do I have a restoration prepared?
I am going to Lauren, I love you.
I do have
Um,
lesser restoration prepared because I think I'm the only one who can prepare that. Okay.
I feel hydrate. I feel like Tallulah is getting, she appears to be drinking a lot. But if you're okay with it, at some point she pulled the bartender to the side, and she was drinking clear liquor, and she pulled the bartender to the side and told him to start doing water instead.
Mm.
Fair enough.
And she just acts like she's completely trashed.
That's fair. So we're getting to like 10, 11,
Mhm.
12.
Oh, before it gets to midnight, before it gets to midnight, that's when I'm gathering Kara's food and giving Tallulah a wave and asking Essequa if would you like to join me return to the boat, or are you gonna stay for a little while longer?
Oh, I'm good. To go with you, that was unclear prior to me finishing the sentence. Yeah, I'm good to go back to the ship. We should also I like point over at Johnny, who is three sheets to the wind at this point.
Absolutely, yeah. If you want to create your disc, I'll haul them onto it. Uh, and yeah, Tallulah, I'll give you kind of across the bar from wherever you are. Give you the, we're heading out. Did you want to join us, or are you staying?
I'll be along in a minute.
We'll see you back at the ship.
Sounds good. Oh, wait a minute. That may not happen. Did I notice the kids at the table? I had like
no,
a
with your
15.
18, no.
It was okay. Then I'll head back with them in that case.
Okay, fair enough.
All right.
Do we want
I got my to-go boxes.
Do when you get back to the ship, Kara is asleep.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys want to go to bed?
No, but I'm gonna.
Yeah, I'm good
All
to
right.
go to bed.
Yes.
In that case, let's take our break.
Hooray!
Really?
Sounds like yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's
let's
really
break
good
before bed.
timing. Like, from a story standpoint, I can't fault you.
Let's call it what is it? It's 17 after now. Let's call it 18 more minutes.
35.
35.
Math.
You said 18 minutes?
Yep. We'll come back at 18:35.
It's 18:35 for me in military time.
Yeah, that's what I was on my clock. Yeah.
Okay. What am I doing? Oh yeah, I'm doing us going away. Sorry.
sheets to
We'll see you guys
wind.
soon.
Bye.
welcome back to Players in Book, a live D&D game where I get to DM for the best players in the world, including Katie Downey, Lauren Urban, and Latia Jaquise. Jennifer Kretschmer is not here this week, but she will hopefully be here next week. With that said, under normal circumstances, I'd be better at this. I cannot figure out which of your nightmares is best to be first or last or middle.
We should roll for it.
That's exactly what we're going to do.
Roll for nightmare.
Under normal circumstances, I'm like, narratively, what's the best? I don't know. I think they all have potential to be
terrible.
good or bad or terrible. So everybody roll a d20, and we will go in order: highest first, lowest last.
Cool.
If you tie, roll again.
Well, I just rolled an 18.
Nice.
Is it? I don't know.
I rolled an actual die because I had one. It's a 6.
Okay, so we're going Furloughs, Tallulah, then Essequa.
We also all rolled multiples of 6.
We
which
did.
find
I
very
noticed that.
interesting.
Yeah.
All right, Furloughs. As you
Oh,
start
hi.
to slip into slumber.
Also called sleep.
Oh, yeah, as I
also
start to
called
sleep. Yeah.
You find yourself in a somewhat peaceful, not anything like what you were expecting for tonight, a somewhat peaceful place with an entity that you've met once or twice before.
Matt Mercer?
It very much, by the way, it very much
Yeah.
is. The minute I saw this token and what it's, so this is the God in the Heart, Mr. Blue. But yes, almost it's the dead ringer for Matt Mercer. I saw that the first time I saw the token, and that's why I used him for this particular god. Actually,
Yeah.
I'm so glad that I'm not the only person who thought that exact thing.
Fabulous.
But yeah, he is currently. You've met him before, and he is doing the same thing he was doing the last time. He is fishing.
Is he at the little campsite looking spot?
He is right here.
Wow.
I guess I should put myself there. So at this point, how lucid of this is this dream? I guess I'm asking. So like,
You have control over yourself for sure.
and when you say this is not what I was expecting, like
It's not a nightmare.
It's not a nightmare. Okay. We've had references before, but I never would have put you in a nightmare.
I don't think this is one.
Well, it's just started.
That's fair. That is absolutely fair. I noticed that you were, well, not to put too fine a point on it, but were spreading the word of freedom tonight, and I thought a valid reward would be to prevent you from having nightmares entirely.
Aw.
Well, I appreciate that, although I think Tallulah probably did a little bit more of the work than I did, but
Unfortunately, your friend is in the depths of some. I will do my best. You know what? I will put a little bit of effort into trying to make her night a little bit less horrid, but I have deals with the God in the dream, and I can't necessarily push too hard.
that's understandable. Well, hopefully between you and whatever alcohol she consumed, it won't be too bad.
Oh no, that's going to make it much worse.
I've always thought that. I can't imagine why everybody seems to feel like getting drunk is the answer to things.
Well,
But
I think it's the idea they want to be so drunk they forget the things that happen to. Like the things are still going to happen to them. They're still going to feel the things that they feel. They're still going to hurt the way they hurt. But at least in the morning they won't remember it. She's going to remember it.
Ouch. I'm not here.
I'm just silently making judgment faces.
maybe that's why it gets progressively worse for everybody, because the only way it gets better is if you actually plow through it.
Confront your problems. Yes, I know. Which you did. You've been thinking all day about the things that bother you, and you've been confronting everything head on. Which
Well,
is To be fair, the only way you ever confront anything.
That's the only way that I know how. But I appreciate you trying to help her out. And in the morning, I'll see what I can do about the inevitable headache that'll happen, because the last thing we need is for the person who is the most charismatic of all of us to be unable to talk when we're dealing with a bunch of fae.
That's I heard that you were dealing with a couple of archfays tomorrow.
That's the plan.
Yeah, I'd be careful. As always, archfays can be a little tricky sometimes, but the archfey of the Feywild beneath and above, they're usually pretty up on the up and up, especially when it comes to matters of the sea.
Well, in this case, I'm less concerned about specifically them dealing with us and what's going to happen when the two of them deal with each other.
uh, I have some ideas, but I think you're just gonna have to see that when it happens.
Yeah, that's going to be it's going to be interesting for sure. Anyway, was this just
Oh,
was
I
this
thought
just a
you'd want to.
pleasant dream instead of a nightmare, or was there anything in specific you want to talk about?
So he reaches a hand out, and as he's reaching it, a fishing pole that wasn't there before appears, and he hands it over to you. I don't know. Nice to have somebody to fish with sometimes.
Oh,
Fairlos rolls her eyes, but will come on over and start to fish. Well, I guess if you're going to be nice enough to keep the nightmares at bay, the least I can do is keep you company.
I mean, you don't have to if you don't.
But
There's only
this
one
is-
way to get better at a thing.
This is my dream, so what exactly are we fishing for?
Look, usually when somebody goes out and fishes, it's not about the actual catching of the fish.
What is it about?
Freedom.
The freedom to.
Do whatever you want. To just relax. To just be yourself. To hang out with good friends.
Well, you can do that without fishing.
You can, but sometimes you need an excuse. Don't tell me you never needed an excuse to, I don't know, meet with people and relax.
I've never needed an excuse for myself, but sometimes I have needed an excuse for other people.
Hmm.
So I
I-
get that.
I did want to talk to you about something somewhat important if you're up for it.
I'm all ears.
Well, after tonight, I am curious how much involvement are you planning on having with the little rebellion they're growing over in Brescia?
It's an interesting question. I don't know. Obviously, we're going to have a lot of involvement in the short term because
Mm.
it's Tallulah. We've got to protect her as much as we can. I mean, the main reason we are here is to get those books. And I want to help the people of Brescia, but we need to keep our eyes on the bigger picture about getting those books. So I don't know at what point, once we finish that objective, what happens next?
Don't be so focused on the future that you forget the present. Yes, you need to go get those books. Yes, there's a long term quest in front of you. But there are people suffering directly next to you sometimes. And don't forget that part of your responsibility as a person is to help them too. Now, if you can do both, that's fantastic. But if you can only do one, save the people that you can save.
It's easy for you to say, but when some of us are being told that there's not a lot of time left to save everything, and then the people in front of you are the ones suffering, it's a little difficult to come to a decision about which one you're supposed to help.
Well, thankfully, in this case, I think your purposes are united. The sooner you get the control of the palace, the sooner you get to those books. How that control comes is entirely up to you, although I would highly recommend that you support the student protesters and their push for full democracy, but that's entirely up to you.
Oh, I'm absolutely behind the push for full democracy. Whether the rest of Brescia is interested in that or if they're going to follow Tallulah being the new queen and whether she wants that or not, that is to be decided at a later time. But
You are the cornerstone. You might not know it yet, but you are the cornerstone on which this freedom will be built.
that's a lot of responsibility for someone who doesn't even belong to this society.
That's fair. It's a good thing that you have help. What are the words on your book?
On on my book.
Yeah. I think they're on your hammer too.
And almost as though she wasn't even thinking about it, instead of the fishing pole in her hands, it's the hammer. And she'll turn it around to look at it and say, well, I think you know as much as I do. The patient storm, a thunder's glorious horn, heart holding hidden hope.
Rebellions are built on hope.
You're not saying anything that I don't agree with. If the entire world weren't at stake, I would have no qualms about joining Johnny Jubilee and helping to free all these people from everything awful going on and help them build the democracy that they deserve. If the entire world weren't at stake, I would love nothing more than to stay here and help Tallulah free her entire people and help her do whatever it is that she thinks is good for her people. And yes, in the short term, taking over the palace and helping the rebellion is also helping our final goal. But I'd be lying if I said I wasn't worried about that moment where we get the books and we're not done with the rebellion, because that's going to be a choice.
I'm worried about that too, but the choice is always going to be yours.
Well, it's got to be ours. I'm not going to leave everybody behind. But
The collective you, but yes.
yeah, when that moment comes, I can't deny that I won't feel it necessary to bring it up, that we may need to move on. Now, whether we do, or whether it's a good idea to, I don't know. I won't know until we get to that point.
Well, with any luck, your friends might help drag you back into the light.
With any luck, by the time we get to that point, we'll be in a position in where we can leave without having to worry.
That's fair.
That's my hope. That's my hope, is that we get to that point and we find the books and the rebellion is done and in a good place, or in a place in where we can walk away and no one feels like we're abandoning anybody, or whatever position we're going to be in. But I can't make that decision until we get there.
That's fair. I will say I think we should just fish and relax, because I don't want you to be dreading these moments where I meet up with you and we have to have some deep conversations. We just relax, have a good time.
I think I started this dream by telling you that I never expected you to be in my nightmares, so I don't dread our conversations. And she'll look down, and the hammer is a fishing pole again. He goes, I'm sometimes a little annoyed that you never give me any explicit instruction. You just talk around things, but that's who you are, and so I have to just accept it. But thank you for at least listening.
Yeah, and if you want to talk about something, I'm literally always here.
That's not
Always here
creepy.
fishing, or just always here in the metaphorical sense?
Yes.
It's good to know. Well, what do you want to catch?
Honestly, I'm hoping for nothing.
In the literal or the metaphorical sense?
Yes.
And I think at that point, if unless there's anything else he wants to say, we will sit there in like comfortable silence,
Comfortable
just
silence, yeah.
listening to the waves.
That sounds very much like a good day for furloughs. Uh, so
Mostly, it takes her a
Silence.
while to really like. She's antsy for a good chunk of time. And it's not anyone's fault. It's that I should be doing something, or like, all right, I've done this thing, or if I'm fishing, I should be finding fish. Like, it's hard for her to just sit and relax without a purpose. But I think eventually she does, if only because she tricks herself into it, of like, it'll make him happy and he's gonna help Tallulah, so I'm gonna sit here and relax to make him happy so he'll help Tallulah. So she's tricking herself into relaxing by giving herself a job to do.
Fishing against her better judgment.
Relaxing against her better judgment.
I love it.
You don't catch anything before you wake up.
That's fair.
Essequa.
What? I rolled a 6.
Oh, you were the 6. I'm sorry.
I mean, I'm fine to go next, but
No.
I just
That's fine. All right. Tallulah.
I've made bad life choices. Right. I think I lost audio.
It just went to a quieter track,
okay,
I think.
Okay. I saw Latia's mouth move and was like,
Oh.
no.
No, I was looking at the map and going, what is happening?
I don't think you're going fishing. Sorry.
Yep. That does not look like a fishing spot.
You find yourself in the prison dungeons beneath Brescia. You've only ever heard these described before, so this could be realistic or just, your imagination running wild. But in the cell in front of you is your father.
No. But father?
He doesn't respond to you.
Mon père?
In the neighboring cell,
Oh, it's you. I should have known this would involve you.
hi.
Bonjour. How are you doing?
Better than you, I think.
Probably it wouldn't be that hard at this point. So this is where you're going to torture me with nightmares?
No, I'm just going to remind you of the people you've left behind.
I don't need a reminder. Thank you, though.
Well, you left one of your friends to die and then didn't tell anybody about it.
That's correct.
Even when afterwards, like long afterwards, when you probably could have done it and gotten no negative consequences, you still didn't tell anyone about it.
What was there to tell?
Tell the rich man that where his daughter's body happens to be so that he could, I
yes,
don't know.
because I have such a fondness of the wealthy, don't I?
Was she not your friend? Oh, okay, I get it. You're trying to do that thing where you like pretend like the people don't matter to you.
No, she was my friend.
Yeah.
But her father wasn't.
Oh, okay. No, that makes sense. I like that. Yeah. Yeah.
There.
So what
There
you
are-
did was right. What you did was good, is what you're saying.
What, not telling him?
Not telling him. That way you got at him. You really stuck it to him.
Well, I didn't know I was doing that at the time, but we all have silver linings, don't we?
Yeah, it's pretty great. Well, what about your dad that you abandoned?
He told me to go.
And you left him here to suffer.
At
And by
his
the way,
request.
yeah. But he's not the one that requested you steal that signet ring, is he? You did that. You put him in danger. You put him in here.
So, I will write it.
Yeah, but it's a little late now, isn't it? You keep doing that to people, where you do this horrible thing and then you're like, well, I'll fix it later.
What am I going to do? Stew over it? I've done some bad things. I've done things that I regret, but nothing I'm ashamed of.
You know, I wish I could be like you. Leaving a trail of broken people in my path, people who care about me, who love me. Just leave them to rot.
Let's see. There is the two men who kept my entire life a mystery from me without ever saying anything until now. Should I feel compassion for them? For the two men who lied to me my entire life? Oh, there's a wrinkle, isn't there?
Oh, no, I love this. Take the people that care. Well, one of the people who cared about you, like actually cared about you, took care of you, nurtured you, loved you, treated you like you were his own child, kept you protected, secret from any of the people that could have threatened and hurt you. Yep, he's at fault. Blame. You love to shift the blame. This is who you are,
I
isn't
do
it?
what needs to be done.
All right. Well, that's why he's in here. And that's why she was left on that island for years, just a rotting corpse.
A corpse is just a thing. It's no different than a chair.
I like it. I mean this sincerely, by the way. Like, your attitude and your like denigrating of the people who cared about you it's very nice. And I'm glad that you've come around to my way of thinking.
Well, you can do things the nice way or the effective way.
Well, tonight you're going to spend some time, and he pushes against his own cell door,
Mm-hmm.
and you feel yourself being phased into the cell over here.
Okay.
Tonight, you get to share an experience with your father. Who deserves it, by the way. You said that.
I did.
Yep.
No? Then I suppose we will see what happens, won't we?
Yeah. Well, toodaloo.
Once he's gone, even knowing that he can still see, most likely, because of course he's going to be watching tonight, Tallulah just kind of runs her hand across her face and takes a deep breath. And just, this is not real. This is a nightmare. Everything is fake.
Just to be clear, for the rest of the night, no one else comes by these cells. You hear noises. Every once in a while, you're startled, like maybe somebody's about to walk up,
Mm-hmm.
but nobody comes up. And the only sounds, other than the general sort of background of the water sloshing outside and the sort of like sound of burning torches, is a very soft weeping coming from your father's cell.
I reach into my pouch and pull out my lockpicks.
Fair enough. They are not there.
I know I'm dreaming.
Fair.
I never go anywhere without my lockpicks.
Make a wisdom saving throw. We'll call it a DC 18.
Okay. Wisdom?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, no. Nope, that's an
No.
8.
No.
But at least it wasn't a 1 on the die.
That's fair. Yeah, your will is not strong enough to overcome this nightmare currently.
Are there any let's see. I have a picture of where I am. Okay, so I've got chain in there, some blood. That's nice. That's lovely. Doesn't look like there's anything I could use as a tool. Does her father look hurt?
Yes. But how exactly you can't tell, he's doubled over and he doesn't really move other than the weeping.
I cast detect thoughts.
That does not work because you're not really here.
Okay. When it doesn't work, I sit back in the cell and Tallulah closes her eyes and just listens.
It's fair.
And takes in all of the screams and uses these. While she's falling apart on the inside, she's using these cries and the weeping and the screams to steal her resolve.
Gotcha.
Because these people are suffering due to the monarchy at hand, due to the queen and her choices. And the only way that she can help them, Tallulah can, is by going forward with what they are looking at. And so she's taking in all of the pain and the anguish and just letting it wash over her. And she begins to silently weep. And she closes her eyes. And
You
just
hear
listens.
a voice in your ear after. This is not fair. Be free. Do you open your eyes?
Yes.
You notice it looks like reality is tearing in front of you. And then blackness. And then you wake up. And it's in the morning for you.
Where am I?
On the ship where you fell asleep.
Do I see the others?
Yeah. You also see Fairlos is waking up as well. And now we're going over to Essequia's tree.
My turn.
But what would, because of Fairlos's conversation with the
Yeah.
God in the Heart, to be clear, you went from a full night of nightmares to just a very short, like half hour to an hour.
Yeah.
Moment.
Oh, right. I get him. Whoa.
Every time it gets quiet, I get paranoid that something has happened. And I look over, and Sim, you are very still, naturally.
That's
The
fair.
hunter lying in wait.
And I keep having to look at other people.
Yeah,
Everything is happening here so much.
There's a lot. I had a dream. Tallulah had a nightmare. You're having a trip.
Yeah.
you are on this dais. Let's move your token onto it.
Oh, it's so
Yay.
pretty. I love this
It's
map.
wild.
There's a unicorn.
With
Oh,
Soren.
Oh, he is hot. I mean, of course he is.
they get hot guys. And I got those.
I'm pretty sure Tolliver is quite attractive underneath his mask.
Probably.
And a woman you do not recognize.
Look at her hair, though.
Who is also hot.
Right? I love her. I don't know who she is, but hey.
She's my
I
favorite. I'm
love-
sorry.
Like that hair.
I mean, anyone who can rock a black lip, much respect.
I'm just positively delirious seeing this token.
Essequa,
Yep.
there is a conversation going on between Soren and this mysterious woman.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like you to roll an Arcana check.
Fun. Okay, give me.
You're going to get information no matter. Okay, so you're going to get this base level of information.
Okay.
You're not sure. Maybe it's because it is your dream. Maybe someone is helping you with this. It's hard to tell for sure. But you know who this woman is.
Okay.
This is an avatar for. Let me go over here real quick. Scroll. Crescenza, the Marvelous Muse.
Woo.
Goddess of award-winning musical theater, first lady of encores and unexpected key changes. You're muted
She
for this.
has arrived.
No, I'm not muted. I'm just far back from the mic.
Got you.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Latia's thrilled. Essequa is confused. Can I have a process question about this dreamscape I find myself in?
Sure.
Is any of the stuff around us moving?
Yes, this is not a static map. Everything is moving around. It is
Okay.
yeah. There is a beholder bag on the upper right-hand corner that's eyes sort of darting around. There is a floating unicorn head that's just kind of like moving back and forth with a broken horn.
I'm just gonna, because for everybody, yeah, thank you, Katie, for moving everything around. There's a unicorn, there's a weird clock with a face on its face. There are flying fish boats in the bottom left-hand corner, and a little guy, I'm sorry, a big guy with the smallest wizard hat I've ever seen. And I love them.
I think he's the son.
He's hiding. Yeah, this is a trip, and this makes so much sense for Essequia's dream.
There's a croissant.
And you are becoming party to a conversation that you instinctually know happened very recently in the past between your your mentor and this entity that you've previously basically never heard of. But with a name like that, something serious is going on. It looks like he is negotiating licensing rights, and she is explaining that it is very important that as many people come to see his play as possible. And then she is delivering to him the idea of franchising plays through the use of major illusion in a box.
Oh my god.
She's
She's making
developing pro shots.
television.
It is television, but very specifically as far as plays are concerned, pro shots, which is all I personally care about.
What she's pitching is that he can. I don't want to give you a back and forth conversation. I'm just going to give you the summary. What she's pitching to him is that you can have a high level wizard sit in the audience of a play, and then using a special box that can be created by artificers, encode a major illusion into that box. Then you could deliver that box anywhere in the world. The wizard doesn't have to accompany it. Put it in the center of a stage, and it will replay the play on that stage, allowing whatever play is going to be done to be viewed by possibly millions of people. And in exchange, the only thing she asks is that she gets the starring role.
Have they mentioned what the play is at all that he's trying to license?
It's the thing.
Hamlet.
Oh, right. Of course it is. Of course it is. I'm silly.
But she wants to play the role of Hamlet.
Hell yeah. I think that's the first thing Essequa says into the dreamscape.
Because I was thinking about like the cheapest version of a nightmare for Essequa is just you show up at school and you don't remember. You're like, there's a test today and you don't know it. But I thought about Essequa a lot, and the way you've played her, I don't see a lot of deep-seated fears or that kind of stuff. Really, like she's just very curious about everything. So I don't think in the day of nightmare she's gonna have much of a nightmare.
I mean, this is honestly the closest thing that she gets to a nightmare,
Yeah.
because she's been a little reticent about wanting to perform in a musical because that's not what blade singing is to her. So
And
yeah,
what you're
this
getting here is that there's an ulterior motive that your mentor isn't told you about.
Yeah. But yeah, I think the first thing that comes out of her mouth into the dreamscape when Crescenza mentions that she wants to be Hamlet is just, hell yeah.
And that's the totality of your dream. You get imparted with additional information about your mentor.
Nice.
And I think that's a good spot for us to end the night.
Okay.
With us having had a long
Having
rest.
dreams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, in that way,
Long
we can
rest.
find out what Rivulet's dream was.
That's also true. If everything works out,
Very
we can have
important.
Rivulet's dream in the beginning of the next session, and then we can move on to the other stuff that's going to happen that day. All right.
Just to be clear, can we actually hit the long rest button?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
The three of you are long rested.
I only asked because and we'll get into this a little bit shortly. I will unfortunately not be here next week because I will be still at Origins doing Oranges things. So I
love you,
someone,
Lauren.
so someone else can take care of Fairlos. Fairlos will just be extra quiet for a little while, which, you know what, if y'all are dealing with the Fae, is very on brand.
Yeah.
Fairlos is going to be like, I'm going to shut the F up and just let it ride.
That's a
I also
lesson
like to
Katie
think
needs to
Fairlos
learn.
might be trying to find some semblance of the calm she experienced in the dream in real life.
Yeah, maybe.
Tallulah is not poisoned for the morning. I know you guys were concerned about that. She would have been, but a blessing from a particular god has prevented it from happening.
Yay. Yay.
I did have lesser restoration just in case.
I had a feeling
You're
you
such
would,
a friend.
But you also asked the god to help her out, so he's like, I'm gonna,
Yeah.
You know, I kind of figured, and she did do, like, I gave her the words, but she's the one who did the song, so it was only fair. But yeah,
You're my
Fairless
muse. Fairless is my muse.
Let's not go that far. Oh no, I'm your captain, not your muse. Let's not go there. No, this is not
Why
how that
not
works.
both?
Because for a bunch of reasons I don't want to go into. Yeah, Fairless is not necessarily the healing type of cleric, but there's a couple spells she has because no one else can take them, and lesser restoration is one of them.
It's gonna feel like a hammer to the chest, but it's a lesser restoration.
Actually, yeah.
Let's go over our credits. Cartography by Shay and Peku, cartography by Shay and Peku Sci-Fi, maps by Luke Stratton, maps by Eightfold Paper, music by Tabletop Audio, character tokens by Greek46, custom tokens by Shay and Peku Tokens, overlay art by Pack Stream, custom world map by Freckle Sketches, logo by Luke McCay, and special thanks to our moderators, Billith and Strike Redkite.
Woohoo!
Katie, what do you got going on in your life?
Hi, I'm Katie. Katie Downey, aka Goblin Katie. Find me on all the socials at Goblin Katie or goblinkatie.com on Bisky. I am going to be at Southern Fried Gaming Expo. I will be playing in a game, Return to Green Valley. This is a continuation of a campaign that we played last year at Southern Fried. My game did get bumped, so I will not be running a game, but I will be playing in a game on Friday and Saturday. So we hope you come see us. Big shout out again to Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realm. Thank you so much for the code. You can find it here. Ahead Mode Veil. Ahead Mode Veil. Ahead Mold Veil. That's yeah. And last thing, there was one more thing. Oh, last thing. Happy Pride, everybody. We want to send out our love and give everybody just a big ol' hug. You are seen, you are loved, you are awesome. And feel free to use our Pride potatoes to celebrate.
Potatoes.
Potatoes.
Fried potatoes.
Fried
Often
potatoes.
become in a stew.
And that's me.
That is not what I said.
No.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I just looked to see what.
What did you say?
I said Kartoffeln, which is potatoes in German, but captions thought I said that I was baffling, which I guess I am a little bit.
Yeah.
You were
did
just
baffle
baffling.
the
You were
captions.
baffled by
Yeah.
the transcript.
Exactly. The transcript is like, you're supposed to be speaking in English.
Oh, one more thing real quick. I forgot. I wanted to give a big shout out and thank you to all of our new followers. We got several new followers tonight. So thank you. Welcome. Very happy to have you here. And want to thank Buzz and Lurking Rider for bits and gift subs. So, and Cassius, sorry. Thank you so much, you guys.
Yay.
We appreciate you.
it.
Yeah. Very much appreciated. Oh, now it's me. Okay.
Now it's
Hi. I'm Lauren Urban. You can find all the stuff I'm doing at lauren-urban.com or on the Bisky as lauren-urban.com because it works like that. As I said earlier, this week I am going to be working at Origins Game Fair in Columbus, Ohio. I'll be there on behalf of Whiskins because that's my day job. I don't always talk about it, but that's what I do. I'm the community and social media manager. So you can come and see me. There's literally 3 different things that we're doing. That we're gonna have a whole big booth. And there's a whole big HeroClix tournament going on, and we're also running a whole bunch of other tabletop games. So there's a lot going on, and I will be doing some bits of all of them because when you do the social media and community manager, you do 12 jobs in one. So if you happen to be at Origins, come find me and say hi. I would love to see you. That is also why I will not be here next week, but I will miss you, and Fairlos will be scowling from across the boat.
The boot.
The boot. The boot.
The boot.
The boot.
We're going to take the boot across the moat.
Boot across the moat.
To get a banana float. I'm
and
sorry.
our friend who is a goat.
Yes.
Carlos
Hi,
is now
everybody.
hoity-toity. Sorry.
It's okay. Hello, everybody. I'm Latia Jaquise, and I like making word puns, so it makes it hard for all of us to get an outro going properly. You can find me at my website, latiajaquise.com, or on Blue Sky, also at latiajaquise.com. This Saturday from about 1 p.m. to maybe 7 or 8, I'll be in Racine, Wisconsin at the Sanctum Tabletop Gaming Emporium. I think that's the name of the game store. Doing some free RPG shutting down free RPG day stuff. So if you're in that area, come on by. There's going to be panels. There's going to be so many games. And I'm going to tell you to play something other than D&D because D&D is kind of the standard these days. And there's so much more great stuff out there. And there are so many really cool tables that have things going on. So play something other than D&D for free RPG day. Don't tell my job I said that.
They'll never find out.
No, it's
We'll
not
keep
like
it
it's
secret.
or
Right?
anything.
It's just between us.
Sure. But before I complete a non-outro, I do want to go over something I forgot. I do lots of references, and I mix a lot of references into the show and everything. One of which, right here, rebellions are built on hope.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure for the people who didn't know where that came from, that was not something I made up myself. I stole it from Star Wars.
No, chat had your number.
I had a feeling that they would pick it up, but
They were
there's always
very
gonna be-
excited about it, though. It was
Oh,
good.
okay, good. And beyond that, I still don't have an outro, so try not to die, and we'll see you next week. Peace.
Bye.
Bye.